Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Chanda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule of Waves 3 as the United States. It's 1954, we remain at war with Japan and Germany, and we are about to attempt to invade Weihaiwei. The Japanese fleet has come out to meet us, and we're about to fight a very large battle. Invade Weihaiwei. Oh great, a full fleet action. And they have all their surface units again. This could be a problem, really, but we're going to have to try. At least if we win, the Japanese fleet's pretty much knocked out of the war. Yeah, I mean, we have that many DDs too, but I can't concentrate them all in one place. Of course, it's dark. And at least it's almost dawn. Yeah, almost. So we have both of the battleships and battle cruisers that are in the area. 3 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and what appears to be 6 carriers. Antietam, Intrepid, Starjumper, Bennington, Hornet, and Shangri-La. Plus 3 more light cruisers, plus a pile of destroyers. Well, sure. Launch all the float planes, why not? What's this? Is this the invasion convoy? It is. Why are we so far away from it? I feel like the Japanese are probably between their base and... If the Japanese are at their base, they can get there before I do. That's what I'm trying to say. Well... Not long. Hold on a second. Alright, sorry. MacArthur's on one of those ships, huh? That would be acceptable. I would sacrifice the invasion to get rid of MacArthur. What's this now? Wait. Wait, what? So help me Neptune, if their entire carrier force is actually pinned against their coast going in circles or something stupid like that, this... well, it would be a bit embarrassingly easy, really, but... I don't think that's an accurate report. Can I launch an airstrike yet? I guess I can. It just happens to be a bit, well, you know what? It's about to be delayed. Let's get them prepped at least. Yeah, everybody ready, 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 ready. We launch at dawn, which is in like 10 minutes, so be ready. Pretty sure, is that the convoy, or is it Japanese ships? I can't tell you. I think it might actually be the convoy, but it's kind of crawling too, so that's part of... Wait. Where are we shooting? Daylight is about to reveal some very confusing stuff. Or, I guess it'll be less confusing once we can see it, but it's about to reveal some stuff, I'm pretty sure. Or not. I see nothing. There certainly were not two battleships for... Well, unless they reported our force, maybe. That would be just about believable. I think that's the invasion transports, but we should probably be a little weary of the possibility that it isn't. If their carriers are over there, that's a little more believable than them being right here, but... It'd be nice to get a visual just to confirm if that's the Japanese fleet, or... I don't see any forts, only the airstrip for now. From the formation... Okay, that's definitely the invasion fleet. That's good. Now... Also, clearly, their carriers are probably not right here. Although I'm certainly interested in checking it out to be sure. But I bet you they're not far. We can still bomb it. Unless it's going to be full daylight shortly. Maybe then we'll see something. Anything at all? Unknown radar contact. I think it's that ship back there, which I'm certain is part of the convoy. Wait. No, it's that up there, which is not part of the convoy. Okay. Hard to starboard. Yes, sirs. Okay, there's something chasing the convoy in. And kind of perilously close to our carriers. But we'll be alright. CV? No. Just cruisers, but... Wouldn't be surprised if there's actually a battleship there. Like, maybe right there, but... Well, I don't want to be caught too off guard. If their carriers turn out to be somewhere, but why don't you go ahead and launch? At dusk? You'll be fine. You know what? Okay, I'm going to hold the other carriers in reserve in case we get a beat on the enemy carriers. Just for a couple of minutes, at least. I'm not sure that this is the main Japanese force. I don't want to overcommit on it. If it is just a gaggle of cruisers, that should be enough of an airstrike, like 60 jet attack aircraft, to really make it suffer anyway. There might be a BB in there. That might actually be a BB. You know what? I feel like the possibility that their other carriers are over there is pretty high. You guys... Just do it. If we hit nothing, then we hit nothing. Okay. Talbot's just taken some hits. And that's a confirmed battle cruiser. A very expensive 50,000 ton 9/16-inch gun battle cruiser with only a 3.5-inch deck. Mine have 5-inch decks. Missiles. What? No, but... Oh, great. How close are you? You're not that close. Come on now. Missiles. Are we in range? Yes, apparently we are. Okay. Fire all of them then. Aim for the battlecruiser. That's rough, Talbot. Sure. Never let it be said. I think we hit a light cruiser and that's about it, but we tried. No, just figure out how to turn into the wind, buddy. Okay, to be fair, these guys are getting a little perilously close to Star Jumper and Bennington at this point. And that's a battleship. Well, we have 2 battleships. Oh, that's 2 battleships, okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully those guys find carriers, because if they don't, that's going to be quite a waste of an airstrike. Would be nice if our airstrike would get off the ground and hit this fleet. Oh my god, guys. But apparently we have to chase them away a little, or our carriers are just going to refuse to ever launch. And I'm going to have to keep spamming this no button until they decide to. However, I'm pretty sure we just hit Kawachi hard enough to cripple her. She's definitely the oldest, and her deck armor is probably not standing up to this, although the range is low enough that maybe it's the belt, too. Either way, she's literally worse armored than our battlecruisers, so it's not entirely surprising. Awa, on the other hand, here, superbly well armored, but definitely outgunned right now. Kind of suicide charging 4 of our capital ships, really, she is. Now Hornet 2? Come on, guys. I don't know what she's doing. I guess she's trying to get close to our carriers? I don't know if it's really worth this absolute suicide operation she's engaged in. Do we have any more missiles that are in range of her? Oh yes, many of them. That's some hits at least. I mean, that's Japan's really only really modern battleship at this point. So sinking her will pretty much win the surface war against Japan, at least. The non-carrier war, at least. Don't know that those missiles did that much, but hard to say. We have got to chase these guys a little bit away. Oh, well, that's nice. She's what? Oh, good grief. Well, she'll be fine. She's a big ship. Okay, Awa is dead in the water. Enemy. Okay, I guess our airstrike is actually attacking at least some of them now. They could have another battle cruiser. In fact, they do have a battle cruiser back there, I know, because we saw her earlier and she disengaged. Star Jumper, Hornet. You know what? If they're going to actually launch their aircraft, I'll accept it, but I'm not sure I believe they are. At least the airstrike from the other carriers is coming in finally. Yeah, that's probably... We need to turn a little here. In fact, Alabama and Vermont are getting way too close. What's the range? 3,800 yards to Awa. Okay. They're firing 3-inch guns, huh? Makes sense. Yeah, you guys need to back the hell away a little, please. At least the airstrike is hitting some stuff. Awa just surely got hit by it. Okay, Alabama also was hit by a torpedo, but she's fine. She's 62,000 tons. One torpedo doesn't do damage to her. Okay, Oriskany's gotten hit by 2 torpedoes. That's a lot worse. We'd better actually be hitting some things with these missiles, which we probably are. I mean, in fairness, both of Japan's battleships are absolutely dead right here, so I shouldn't complain too much about taking a couple of hits ourselves. I mean, if we get away with no capital ships lost outright, then it's a clear-cut victory. Say, how's that invasion fleet coming? Well, it's cruising on in towards its objective, unmolested so far, so... I would assume the Japanese carriers are all here somewhere, but I've yet to see any evidence to prove they are. I mean, there's been a couple of aerial attacks on us, but probably not more than what the airbase right there could produce. I would expect there's something like, 400 aircraft on their carriers, but I've seen no evidence of any sort of strike like that. I think Awa is dead, guys. You should probably start going after some of these ships with the airstrike. Okay, there's their battle cruiser. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of our airstrike is expending itself on Kawachi and Awa, both of whom are really pretty dead already, I'm pretty sure. But pilots love to do that, so... Not really any such thing as overkill, anyway. Oh, Bennington finally got her... That's fine. That's a normal launch run through the graves of sinking and burning and dying Japanese battleships and destroyers. There's a battleship 2,000 yards to port and a destroyer, and we're conducting air operations, and that is fine. Now, I've only seen one of their battle cruisers, that one. Unless I've seen both and I just don't know it, but I'm pretty sure I've only seen one. Oh, it's raining. Well, so much for our air operations. Honestly, that's alright. It'll probably save us from any possibility of a Japanese retaliation strike, immediately speaking. And our air operations have helped ensure that we're not gonna be. Oriskany is fine despite 2 torpedoes. Our battleships are both A-OK. Valley Forge is also fine. I mean, Oriskany's the worst, but she's not bad. That might be both of their battlecruisers there, actually. Okay, I don't really like the position our carriers are in. They're very exposed back there, but doesn't seem like any of the Japanese are circling around. They're all headed west, so it's probably fine. We'd better keep her with the division. Valley Forge. If those are both, one of those is a heavy cruiser maybe, but they look the same size on the map. Those could be both of their battle cruisers. Obviously, we don't really have a positive ID, right? We can't launch aircraft anymore. Torpedoes? Huh. From her? I guess so, yeah. I didn't even notice that little thing sneak into range. Missed, though, so we're alright. Okay, the rate of hits has gone way down now that it started raining. I think maybe we, sure. Oh, that's a lot of survivors. Okay. I'm gonna turn to starboard. Probably give up on their battle cruisers for just this moment. And we're gonna try to just cut across the rear of their fleet. And see what we can hit. Screen our carriers now that they can't launch aircraft. Even if we don't get their battle cruisers or their carriers, we've gotten for sure both of their battleships, which will obviously make this a pretty big win. They still got a lot of ships up here, which would be nice to hit. Targeting radar. Damn, nobody's got any missiles that can lock onto her. I guess we pretty much fired all of ours. Most of them are out of range. Well, let's maybe turn away a little, because I'm concerned about getting torpedoed, too. They definitely don't have missiles on all of their destroyers. Or we'd be getting hit with a lot more missiles. I'm guessing only their... let's see here. I should really have just looked at some point. Oh, yeah. It's actually only these, like... I'm sure there were more at some point, but it's only like these 8 most modern Akatsuki and Hibiki classes that actually have surface-to-surface missiles. And it's less than our destroyers have, too. I mean, they still have a ton of these, like, 3-4-inch guns. Yay. A ton of these old destroyers floating around. Which, honestly, they're effective enough still in the torpedo boat role. Oh, hey, we've apparently our convoys reached the objective, so that's good. Not loving our complete inability to actually hit these two destroyers that are hanging like 5,000 yards off our port, but Oriskany, what are you doing right now? I can't even take control of your division, but I don't like what I'm seeing from it. Oriskany. Okay, that's bad, but I'm more concerned about Oriskany. What are you doing? That is far too close to all those destroyers. God damn it. Now I'm starting to worry about her a little. Oh, that is a long mission timer, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, we're probably going to disengage now because we've fired off a very high percentage of our. Well, if the weather gets nicer, we can hit them with a lot more airstrikes still, which would certainly be nice. I mean, I want to get Oriskany back to port before she sinks, but our battleships could keep going, except they're a little low on ammo. Oriskany would be the only thing I'd be really concerned about, but, like, I'm concerned. How far? Only 90 miles to Dalny. We can definitely make that. Although I don't want to leave the carriers entirely on their own, but geez, how did you guys end up so far away? Well, if the carriers all head towards the east end of the sea, they'll be fine. Maybe we can drop the battle cruisers off and come back. I don't know. It's a really long timer. So, weird things might be possible. Oh, that's a light cruiser. Well, doesn't look like she's okay. Really doesn't look like she's okay. Yeah. If this was a Japanese Hail Mary, it went poorly. To be fair, it was a fair fight. Two battleships and two battle cruisers against two battleships and two battle cruisers. And they should have pretty much as many carriers as me in the area, too. They just didn't really use them. Sure. Recover your damn float plane, I guess. I like how there's just this arc of fleeing Japanese ships ahead of us. Pretty much, though, yeah. I mean, I always like to build my battle cruisers as heavily armored as possible. Those 5-inch decks are actually just, they're certainly more than what the Kawachi class battleship had. I think Awa had 5.5-inch decks, which is actually quite impressive, but there was only one of her. Yeah. It's kind of a shame about the weather. I think we would have been able to finish them off a lot more if not for the weather, but at our airfield? What the hell? There's not really much I can do about that if that's actually what's happening. Yeah, their carriers probably would have had a good chance of finishing a risk any. Would you please just go to base? What are you doing? Oriskany? The nearest base is 80 miles that way. Please go to it. Oriskany, what the hell are you doing? The nearest base is not in Korea. Good grief. Good for Radford. Radford's kind of fighting everybody. I don't believe you. No, that's a destroyer. And honestly, I've seen some impressive misidentifications, but who the hell is like, oh, look, that destroyer is definitely an aircraft carrier. Oriskany, why are you going the wrong way? Like, that's... You could scarcely be more wrong in an identification of a ship. It's okay, they just turned to go the right way. I don't know why they went the... Are they zigzagging? Is that their idea of zigzagging? Maybe. Alright, there's still some fighting going on, like, outside of my sight somewhere, but I can't do much to affect that. They might be killing all of my transports, but they already landed and achieved the objective, so it doesn't really matter. They're definitely killing all my transports, but it really doesn't matter. I'm not going to go back and try to stop them with a 7,000 yard sighting range either. If I could launch an airstrike on it, I would, but that's, no. Apparently, I cannot. Anyway, what's the difference between a submarine and an aircraft carrier? The Japanese know all about aircraft carriers being submarines and vice versa, okay? It wouldn't be a mistake, therefore, if I said, after depth charging an enemy sub, that I had sunk an aircraft carrier. Hey, look, it's, nope, weather still limits air operations. I'm still going home. Although I don't think you can actually build any of those in game. I don't think you can build any carrier capable subs, but Is this Radford still? My god. Ever since she got lost, she has just been... She's gonna die eventually, inevitably, but she's been on a bit of a rampage down there. I guess I'll have the carriers head for Dalny. They're all just kind of hanging around North Korea now. At least an island is closer in size to a battleship. Maybe even closer in shape. Surely the lack of a flat top is a bit of a giveaway that it's not a carrier if you run into a destroyer in the middle of the night. Huh. There are ships hanging out next to my naval base. Hold up, a little detour, everybody. Is Oriskany back here somewhere? Is that her? Nope, those are destroyers. Is that her? Yep. She's going the wrong way again. She might make it eventually, I don't know. She's still 60 nautical miles away. I don't know what all this is, but I'm inclined to go try to kill it. Oh. Say, air operations have just become possible again. Technically, sort of. Well, let's get everybody prepped. Ready? Oh. Okay, alright, I get it. You don't have enough missiles. Interesting, why don't you have enough missiles? The Star Jumper does. Well, alright, switch to, heavy range is 463, huh? And to be fair, your target's gonna be like... here. That's 143. Alright, you're fine with heavy load then. Ready up. Ready up. You don't have enough missiles either. Nope. Exceeds deck load. Okay. We can have more than that. There we go. You guys also don't have enough missiles. We really only have enough for one strike worth of missiles, apparently. That's okay. Yes, sure. Catapult launch your search float planes for like the third time. I don't know what we're engaging here. If it's just a couple of cruisers, that's one thing. But there's a vague possibility that it's their carriers that have gotten really lost. Or that they're in there somewhere. I only see cruisers so far, though. Oh, hell, that's a battle cruiser. Okay. What's the range? 13,000 yards. Not a whole lot. We're also both about to collide with the coast, and we're down to 20% ammunition. So that's healthy. Oh, to avoid colliding with the coast, she turned towards us. That's bold. We're going to have to turn also, though. The carriers, how are you coming? Oh, that was pretty damn fast, actually. Okay, just to confirm, the target is right here. I don't care. Launch. 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 That's true, my BCs are all forward. I've only got one of them here, though. The battleships are rationally laid out. Or rational is not the right word. Just, oh boy. Symmetrically. That's it. Anyway, Valley Forge can definitely still bear now. Oh, that both of their battle cruisers are there. I don't think that one's sinking. I think that's a lie, but we are very low on ammo. Hopefully our aircraft get here shortly. They are jets. They should be pretty fast. Radford is not only still alive, but is somehow picking up survivors from something we never even saw. How's those airstrikes coming? Well, here comes one. That might be from the ground base right here, which makes sense. I did. The strike target is adjusted to, well, it's like here somewhere, but they should be able to find it, hopefully-ish. We're not going to be able to keep this chase up for long. We have... Oh, here they come. I think they found it. Yeah. Didn't take long either. Jets are nice. Now, I'm going to need them to pretty much plaster this battlecruiser because we are at very low ammunition on our battleships. Well, some bomb hits allegedly. Let's see how it goes. A lot of them went for that one, I think, which is fine. Right. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think the airstrike was pretty successful. I mean, it's very hard to make sense of it at this point, but I think we pretty much crippled this battle cruiser and probably the other one with the airstrike. Although this one might have been badly damaged by our battleships already. Thanks, Port Arthur. Also, their escorts are a little worse for wear. Does anybody have any missiles left? Not who's here, they don't. We heard, okay, does anybody have any torpedoes left? Yes. Okay. Go and torpedo that battlecruiser then. Which you probably would have anyway, but can't hurt to be sure. Oh, the other one's stationary too. Okay. We're probably going to have a complete victory in the old-style capital ships here then. I think Japan is going to have zero... You guys aren't going to bother to launch torpedoes, or... Alright, somebody did. Good enough. That's 3. Right into her side. I think this is her. Yeah. She's still 60 nautical miles from Dalny, but she's making her way. I think she's zigzagging, but it's really big zigs and zags. Why is this shore division disintegrated into individual ships? Whatever. If somebody would just put a torpedo or two into this other one, I'd be more comfortable, but I think she's probably sinking anyway, and wow. Maybe they just scattered a lot, but I feel like our airstrike kind of flattened a lot of the light ships in here. Yeah, they're definitely dodging islands. Okay, torpedoes on that. That's dead. If only I had the slightest inkling where their carriers might be. Hmm. Well, those are the last couple of reports, but I'm pretty sure those are very, very old. Oh, no, wait. These reports are in Universal Time, right? So they're not that old, actually. It might be worth trying to bomb that general vicinity in case we find the carriers. Although our carriers are mostly quite far away, except for Shangri-La. Oh, that's why hers were so damn late. She's gotten stuck on the southern end of Korea here and is not in the bay up here where everybody else is. Whoops. Okay, one of them is actually sunk, so I guess she's done for. If one of you would like to start shooting at that light cruiser and ignore the battle cruiser, that'd be great. Some people are. Okay. You guys can all come back into formation now, please. Bomb the ports. Suggests Promain. You're probably... You might be right, but I'm actually more inclined to take a... Sure. I should probably not have bothered to launch the damn float planes. Don't think they accomplished much. Well, in any case, we absolutely destroyed the whole task force that these battle cruisers are part of. We are flat out of ammunition now, pretty much. Let me see. Alabama has... Yeah, Alabama has absolutely no 16-inch rounds remaining. Nor does Vermont. Valley Forge has 37 total. That's true. I do have the capacity to do both. How are we doing anyway? Oh, it's very late in the day, though. It's going to be dark soon. Alright, if I switch you over to heavy... And I tell you hit... Oh, it's already dark over there. Okay. Alright. I mean, yeah, the timer's going to expire before we get to the next night, so... It's a shame not to get their carriers, because they are what counts more here at this point, but... We've wiped out 4 capital ships here, which is not Gregory, which is all of them. Well, that Japan has. Germany has a lot more, obviously, still, but... Did you just say you're laying smoke, Oriskany? For God's sake, just make your way back to port. Oh, wait, she's finally almost kind of moving along. Is she under command now? Nope. Well, I did detach her. I guess she'll not ever be, but... Come on now. 35 nautical miles to Dalney. You can do this. If she could make it into port, that would... My god, Redford just became the force flag, and she lived through all that. All those adventures she had down there. Well, now who's shooting? The destroyer Fairfax is engaging some people. Okay. Don't like that. Oh, we're only 20 nautical miles away. Come on, Oriskany, you can do it. Is this Fairfax? Yeah, I don't think she's going to make it. I'm pretty sure she's engaging some cruisers or something down there. This is going to be heartbreaking if she sinks as she's entering the bay here. It's not great. She made it. She made it. Pretty close run thing in the end, but yeah, it's fine. As long as she's out of dock, we can fix her. Now, our carriers are untouched and kind of uncommitted, but it's not going to be daylight before the timer runs out, so I'm just going to run them into port for their own safety, I think. I shouldn't say they're too uncommitted. They did launch 2 very successful airstrikes. It's just a shame not to get the enemy carriers. Who's my new flag? Oh, Shangri-La, all the bloody way down here. Okay. Well. Head generally in the direction of Dolly, I guess. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, damn. I don't know when that happened, but apparently we nailed a couple carriers. Wow, this is one of the most horrifically one-sided engagements. So we lost we lost all 6 of the invasion transports, but that's irrelevant. They made it they crashed into shore and were then shot to pieces, but it's fine. We lost 6 destroyers, being USS Gregory, Tillman, Burroughs, MacDonald, McDougall, and Talbot, which Talbot was sunk by aerial bombs from the light carrier Junyo. McDougall was sunk by a torpedo from the destroyer Hokaze, which sank her instantly. I did what? Yeah. MacDonald was sunk by 3, 4, and a bit of 6-inch gunfire from mostly Japanese I did what? When did this happen? I don't recall launching a surface-to-surface missile at a Japanese carrier, but apparently we had a pretty big misidentification at some point or something. Yeah. Well, MacDonald sank, but apparently she fired an SSM at a carrier at some... Poor Burroughs here was hit by 350 shells. Presumably nothing remains of her structure whatsoever. Okay, they're pretty much all from light cruisers and destroyers. and from a light carrier or two. Okay, the Japanese carriers were apparently just. Burroughs was personally finished off by the carrier Taiho, or helped, but apparently they were in that mess somewhere, and we just totally failed to spot them during the battle. Tillman was shot up by some light cruisers and destroyers also, mainly. And some of her own torpedoes blew up on her deck, but I think she was pretty dead by then already. And Gregory was hit by mostly 4, 5, 6-inch shells and sank through progressive flooding 10 hours later, which is rough. So we lost 6 transports, 6 destroyers. About pretty much half the rest of our destroyers were substantially damaged. We also had heavy damage to one battlecruiser, middling damage to the other. Apparently our carriers, a couple of them, took slight damage. What happened to you? Oh, right. They took gunfire during that little, right? Yeah. Some of our carriers took a couple of shell hits during that little unscheduled foray into the gun line, but they all came out alive, so it's fine. And in return, we apparently sank 18 destroyers, which still doesn't even amount to half of what Japan had here, but it's a hell of a lot. Being Akishimo, Hamikaze, Asashio, Shiranui, Takatsukaze, Fumizuki, Yukaze, Fuyatsuki, Tamanami, Onami, Suzanumi, Hatsushimo, Hibiki, Minagamo, Hayashimo, Asashimo, Matsukaze, and Hokaze. I'm not going to go through how they all died, because it's too much, but how many Japan have in total? In this battle, 28, 31, 32, 50. But in total, I think they've got about 90. Which still means they lost, nearly a quarter of all their destroyers or something in this battle. Firewind, huh? Well, she was hit by 300 shells, so there's fire, all right. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all these. This one got hit by bombs and missiles, mainly. Yeah, a couple of 2,000-pound bombs from our Baltimore's pretty much wrecked her. All right, we also sank 4 light cruisers, which they still had 12 more around at the end of the battle, although 3 were badly damaged, but they lost Kasagi, Tatsuda, Kiso, and Tama. It's pretty similar to Hokage, huh? Kasagi here was hit by, well, several 16-inch shells, which appear to be pretty much what did it. Where's the torpedo? I see she launched torpedoes. I don't see where she got hit by one. Oh, there it is. Well, yeah, she was already, Ship sinking is way up here, isn't it? Oh, yeah, there it is. She was already long since sinking when she got hit by that torpedo. It appears really only like 2 or 3 16-inch shell, maybe like 5. Yeah. Appears she took a broadside from Oriskany, and that pretty much did her in. Sorry, Kasagi. Tatsuda also took just a few 16-inch shells, and besides that, a missile off of Baltimore from Shangri-La. But yeah, it was the 16-inch shells at long range from Oriskany that finished her off, though, so that's probably at least 2 light cruiser kills Oriskany can claim. Kiso apparently was hit by 200 medium shells and a bomb. Mostly, well, from 5 up to 9 inches, plus a 2,000-pound bomb off of Baltimore from Shangri-La. I don't even know where she began sinking in this, but she obviously was absolutely plastered with 5-inch and 9-inch shell fire from our cruisers. And Tama was hit by 5-inch, 9-inch. Dang, they shot a missile down. That's a success for 1954. But, the 16-inch shells they apparently could not shoot down. And that kind of did them in. Yeah, Valley Forge finished this one off, looks like. And then they lost one heavy cruiser, which they only had one heavy cruiser here, which is odd considering how many they have overall. But the heavy cruiser Nokagiri was hit by, and this is a 15,000 tonner with 12 10-inch guns. Yeah, she got plastered by 16-inch shells from pretty much Oriskany, Alabama, Vermont. Probably Oriskany got the most, but most of our capital ship line at some point. And sank, yeah. The rest of the CAs might be in the repair yard. Valid. Now, they had apparently 5 fleet carriers and 4 light carriers here, which is probably more than our 6 fleet carriers in terms of aircraft. They did not come out well with... I mean, most of them were undamaged, but then 3 of them... The light carrier Junyo apparently took a missile hit from a Baltimore off of Shangri-La, which started a conflagration among fueled aircraft, and then another one which did the same thing more 9 minutes later, and then another one 3 minutes after that from it. These two were from Intrepid, and within about 20 minutes of the first hit, fires raged so out of control that she was abandoned. So that's familiar from the Japanese perspective. Okay, but an airstrike sank her, or at least that was off-screen, probably. And besides that, they lost 2 fleet carriers. The 18,000-ton Hiryu, which, to be fair, this is a bloody old fleet carrier. Still carried 53 aircraft, though. And, yeah, 1 single missile hit from a Baltimore off of Antietam. Conflagration starts among fueled aircraft, and over the next 3 hours, she slowly reduces and spreads and reduces and spreads, and finally the fire rages out of control, and she's abandoned. Great job, Japan. And the more modern fleet carrier, Akagi, 55 aircraft, was apparently shot up at close range by the destroyer USS Tillman with 5-inch shells at some point. My God. The destroyer USS Tillman torpedoed her, shot her up with a bunch of 5-inch rounds, and left, and she just sank 2 hours later from the fires and the flooding. This destroyer has a solo carrier kill. Quite impressive. And then aside from that, they had, yeah. I guess not. Oh, Tillman died, too. Rough. In fact, the timing on that. Jeez, she was pretty much dying even as she was killing this carrier. Heroic sacrifice, I guess. I guess, no. She got all the hits in, and then, like, moments later, 5-10 minutes later, the carrier's escorts then finally showed up and killed her. But a little too late. Anyway, aside from that, how did Oriskany fare anyway? She really, I mean, it's the 3 torpedoes that did all the damage. But she lived. Yes, and then we sank 2 battle cruisers, 2 battleships. The battleship Kawachi was actually the smallest of them at 37,000 tons. 5 torpedoes and 60 heavy shells. I mean, the 16-inch shells definitely did most of the damage. Oh, in fact, wow, she was sinking very early on from the 16-inch shells. Only like probably 20 of them alone. And we just kept shooting at her, well, for a long time. The battlecruiser Kurama, 48,000 tons, Ikoma class. 4 bombs, a missile, 40 heavy hits, 207 medium hits. Looks like pretty much all of our capital ships engaged her at some point. She was already struggling with flooding by the time she then got hit by 4 2,500-pound bombs off of Baltimore's from Intrepid. And then there was a lot of fire. And all of the rest of this happened as they were trying to abandon her, which is rough. Ikoma, 7 bomb hits. Dang, those bombs are pretty effective. They did manage to take out... Vermont did manage to take out her electrical power and fire control in 1 salvo, which is pretty impressive. Oh, I didn't even look. What was the crew quality on the... -1. 0. -2. Yeah. Yeah, ours are all pretty much at least 1. So they're not doing so hot there, huh? Even the worst of ours are 0. -2 Kawachi? She must have been mothballed or something before the war, and I still don't understand how they're that bad still. So Ikoma here, we've just been going over this. Oh yes, Vermont managed to take out her electrics and fire control in 1 salvo, and then her electrics again. And then she got hit by a whole bunch of 2,000-pound bombs, and a whole bunch more 2,000-pound bombs, and she was still getting shot at, and, it was just all together, and then the fires, Japan does have I mean, she was dying anyway, but Japan's got a bit of a fire control problem in the flames sort of sense of the word. Awa here, obviously the big one, 53,000 tons. Well, 16-inch shells certainly jammed rudder. Oh, that would explain her death turn, I guess, probably. It's just bad luck then. She did charge us rather suicidally at some point. Conning tower, radar. I mean, the 16-inch shells are pretty systematically dismantling her. Heavy missile. Took a turret out. That's pretty solid. They have countermeasures? That's interesting. Heavy damage, you think? Yeah, I mean, pretty much 16-inch shells alone are what really did her in, although she did get hit by several missiles. And torpedoes later helped finish her off, but yeah. Wait, she had... Oh my god. Wow. That's appalling. This is the flagship of their, like, this is the pride of their fleet. Why does she have the worst crew imaginable? This is their newest and most expensive surface ship. Well, not newest, I guess the battle cruisers are, but biggest. I mean, what are they thinking? Yeah, that's horrifying. Okay. So, yeah. 6 destroyers and 6 transports, plus some damage, for 2 battleships, 2 battle cruisers, 2 carriers, a light carrier, a heavy cruiser, 4 light cruisers, and 18 destroyers. They put all the highly decorated 80-year-olds with Alzheimer's on there, huh? Maybe. Oh, wow, their carriers were pretty much right. Their remaining carriers were... I guess that's more just... That's just cruisers. Where's the carriers? Oh. I think I found them. Yep. The remaining carriers were busy crashing into Korea. Although these cruisers were kind of perilously close to finding this USS Shangri-La, but I guess she's got enough escorts to fight them off, probably. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be pretty crippling for the Japanese fleet. It's not gonna help with that blockade of the home islands. Oh, look, a German light carrier interned due to mechanical problems. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna be the last, to be honest. Damn it, I already paid to fix this missile. Fix it again. 14 bomb hits apiece for 8004 and 8005 squadrons. Missile submarine. Oh, wow, and we just took Weihaiwei immediately. Yeah, I'll show the almanac in a second. And we sank U-46, and Breslau's been interned for lack of fuel. Oh, Germany. You guys. Who's increased? Austria-Hungary. Okay, not concerned. Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, Japan's home fleet now consists of 3 fleet carriers, 5 light carriers, and 24 cruisers of various sizes, and 47 destroyers. Yeah, the budget... Damn it, it's so positive again. I don't know how to spend more... Oh, all our carriers just finished. I need to lay down 4 more fleet carriers in order to balance the budget, is all. So the... Did I just... Was that... I don't know, it should be on high, I guess, for a war. Japan now has the smallest navy in the world. With 0 battleships, 0 battlecruisers, although they're building a new 40,000-ton battlecruiser. 5 fleet and 5 light carriers. And they're building 5 more fleet carriers, so they're certainly... yeah, I probably should lay down some new destroyers with... You know what else they don't have is autoloaders, which they probably should have too, so it might just have to be a new class, honestly. We'll see. They do have a lot of... There we go. Yes, they're building 4 60,000-ton carriers, and they'll be done next year, allegedly, although I think they'd had some budget delays. So those are something to not look forward to. On the other hand, they're going to run out of escorts for them pretty quickly at the current rate. I believe they started the war with 20 heavy cruisers, and they're down to 12, maybe even more. They've lost a lot of light cruisers, too, and they have less tonnage of those than us. Oh, yeah. And they were down to 85 destroyers, and now they're down to 67. I've got 87, and I really need to lay down more, because we are losing some in the war. Germany is alarmingly close to our destroyer tonnage, honestly. Their surface capital ships are just not impressive, though. Well, they do have this thing. But her belt armor is very unimpressive. She must have a crazy deck armor, but still. I feel like the 6-inch guns are a terrible compromise as well, so I'm not... And it's not even that fast. So I'm not so impressed by Lothringen, really. These Von der Tans are probably a lot better balanced. Anyway, yeah. Japan still has enough carriers to be a little bit of a threat. Especially if they combine them with Germany's carriers, then it actually is a threat. But, their surface fleet is now a cruiser fleet, which they still have a lot of, but... Not really more than us by a major margin anymore. So they are overall in a lot of trouble, probably. I mean, Germany is clearly coming to try to help them out, but where the hell did the German fleet go? They're sailing back down around Cape Horn again. That's the problem with the AI when it doesn't have bases, and sometimes even when it does, when it's fighting well away from its home areas, it constantly makes these. It shifts its ships around, like across the world, such like every month. They get somewhere and they move again. It's very ineffective. So it's pretty much, yeah, true. It's pretty much us versus Japan at this point. Again. Hopefully we can take the damn Marshall Islands and then retake Kamchatka soon. I guess we've taken Weihaiwei, so our next target's going to be... Well, Shanghai is tempting, but probably South Korea, logically. At least that takes care of some of our budget surplus. Alright. Yeah, we're in a pretty... Where are my Yorktowns? All on the East Coast working up. Okay. Well, 3 of them are worked up already. We should probably try to get these into active service. I mean, they're in service, but we should probably try to get them into the combat area. Let's take the 3 that are ready and let's sail them to... Well, straight to Northeast Asia, yeah? We can cycle a couple of smaller carriers out once they get here, maybe. If you're going to build a 100 aircraft supercarrier, might as well make use of it, right? It's annoying that the angled flight decks don't really get reflected. Even if you choose them when you lay the ships down, but there's probably a way to fix that, but obviously I've demonstrated very little inclination or capacity to modify ship appearances. Alright. Anyway, we're in a very good position to prosecute the war going forward. Japan still has a functional carrier force, but it's taken a severe beating at this point. I am going to go ahead and... Yeah, it's a layer, I think. I'm going to go ahead and end it there for tonight. Thank you for hanging out, ProMain. Thanks for watching, sailors. I hope you enjoyed. New parts will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like or subscribing. Have a nice day, sailors. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.